woman is happy to have sex with someone, the censors would have a problem with it. Ye kya ho raha hai? Right? But if you show one very strange kind of bizarre rape sequence that goes on for a little while, they didn't have an issue with it. If you don't have enough knowledge of the truth, or at least on some level certain degree of facts, you don't want to comment on it.
With the bizarre sort of headlines and bizarre sort of music in the backdrop with out of context as well. So that is something which is
which is a shame. Hi, this is Farhan Akhtar and you are watching Bollywood Hungama.
See, as far as sex is concerned, it has been showcased in an art form as well, and in many ways actually, be it novel, be it poetry, and be it paintings for that matter. But there's a certain...
Yeah, for the longest time, what was very disturbing for the longest time is that you could watch a rape in a film, but you could not watch two consensual adults having sex.
Yeah.
The minute it was consensual, which means that the woman is happy to have sex with someone, the censors would have a problem with it. Ye kya ho raha hai? Right? But if you show one very strange kind of bizarre rape sequence that goes on for a little while, they didn't have an issue with it. The woman doesn't, because the woman is resisting it. Right. So it's not two adults who are like happily doing it. There should be a lot of joy in this encounter.
Right.
If a man and woman consensually as adults are making love to each other or having sex, why should it bother anyone? You should be happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even I think the way maybe liquor and women they're showcased in certain songs, that is something that, because many cases these things happen when people are drunk, and so maybe it doesn't just give out the right sort of messages. Then it happens quite often as far as Hindi movie songs are concerned, and maybe the picturization as well tends to be rather crude at times as well.
Yeah, it would depend on how you shoot it, of course.
Right.
You're absolutely
right. Now, how has been the journey for you? Because say 5 years, this entire thing, because you had your share of criticism as well, and which will always be there, because there'll be certain cases that if any Bollywood star gets into certain controversy, and then you're expected to take a stand as well, always that way. And maybe there are certain times that you may not be able to.
No, I don't think you're always expected to take a stand. I don't think that's fair. On the demand is not fair. To say that if something, that if something has happened, you must have an opinion.
Right.
At times, you don't know enough about a situation. You don't know enough about what has happened behind the scenes, because you're just reading headlines, and more often than not, headlines are sensational. More often than not, they are written in a certain way to evoke a certain reaction from you. And if you don't have enough knowledge of the truth, or at least on some level, certain degree of facts, you don't want to comment on it. And it's totally fair. It's better that you don't say anything about stuff that you don't know, as opposed to make a comment on something that you're probably very uneducated about.
Right.
So the demand may exist, but I don't feel there's anything wrong in a certain degree of silence if you don't know the facts to answer.
Right. And even apart from that, see, the way... see, already a lot has been said about Sridevi ji, so we won't get into that space. But the way the media just entire, the way they tend to report, actually, with the sort of bravado, the way they report, and the sort of speculation, the way they do it.
Right.
It is absolutely bizarre, actually, that they can go to any extent. Like, say, we were talking about the censorship part of it. Like Black Panther, if you see in India, there's a middle finger that has been blurred. So for a movie, that will happen, that you're paying the ticket for, and you're watching something in a newsroom, and for that you can watch any sort of shit. The sort of judgments they tend to pass on film personalities, that they tend to be irresponsible, and they're this and that, and the IQ part we have discussed in the part past as well. Do you find that disturbing, that there should be certain respect that a lot of film personalities they deserve?
I mean, people who are trying their best to do good work should be respected. They should be encouraged. People are trying to do good work. But see, censorship is a separate discussion. Blurring out things, cutting out words, muting words, shortening kisses. This kind of stuff. I mean, it's you really think about it, it's childish. I mean, the fact is that we are kind of trying our best to constantly dumb down an audience. We're not giving them the basic respect that they are adults who can think for themselves. They know what's right, what's wrong. And we should, and if a film is rated a certain way, you should allow people to watch it for what it is. Your job is to rate a film.
Right.
Your job is not to tell me how long somebody can kiss each other for, or if I should abuse somebody or not abuse. I mean, the fact is that you just say that it's for adults. Only adults should watch it. So that's a separate conversation. But in terms of I do feel, of course, that film people more often than not are soft targets. You know, we are always expected to, like you said, firstly have an opinion on everything, and then when you have an opinion on everything, you're chastised for why maybe you have an opinion that everybody doesn't agree with.
And that opinion can be presented in any manner whatsoever, with the bizarre sort of headlines and bizarre sort of music in the backdrop, with out of context as well. So that is something which is
You know, which is a shame, because when the more we lose faith in the people that we are speaking to, the more we suspect the intention of the person that who's trying to interview us and get a good interview out of us. You will get the standard, boring, bland, you know, kind of out of the copybook, predictable answer, which is a shame. Why would it damages you only? The fact is, I'll come and I'll answer my questions and I'll answer them very, very guarded, because I know that you might just take one sentence somewhere out of context and blow that up into something. So you end up being so guarded and so careful that unfortunately half the time you end up not really being able to say what it is that you wanted to say, because of the fear of being taken in some or one sentence being taken out of context. That can happen. Hi, this is Farhan Akhtar and you are watching Bollywood Hungama.